Welcome back. Today I'm here to show you guys a recipe that I came up with all on my own. Ultimately, this is my own recipe. Recently I was sent a package from NuNaturals, and what was in the package were a variety of stevia products, one of which was a baking blend. So instead of using sugar, I use the 0-calorie stevia baking blend, and you can pretty much use it the exact ratios. So if your recipe calls for a cup of sugar, you can use the stevia baking blend and use an entire cup. I found that the taste was a little bit too much. It's a little bit stronger than sugar. So in my recipe, I kind of cut back. But anyway, here it is. To start, you're going to use a half a cup of butter, and then you're going to mix that with 3/4 of a cup of the NuNaturals Stevia Baking Blend and a 1/4 cup of the Erythritol. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but you can see the image right now. Then once that's blended into kind of a creamy mixture, I did it when the butter was a little too hard, so clearly it didn't melt as well as it should have. But next you're going to add a half a cup of applesauce, then 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix all that together. Once that's blended well, you're going to add 2 1/4 cups of whole wheat pastry flour. Then you're going to add about a half to a full teaspoon of baking soda. Then you're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and if you have it, I added fresh grated ginger because I recently made a soup that called for it, so I bought the ingredient. But most people probably don't have that on hand. You can add just some regular ginger that's kind of in the ground form, and if you don't have it, you really don't need it. Now next, you can add 1 to 1.5 cups of shredded carrots. I did mine in a food processor. You can shred them by hand or you can buy it shredded. And then I also used 1 medium to large sized zucchini. And now I mixed those all together, and again I added some raisins and walnuts. Now I would suggest adding it to your own preferences, meaning the carrot, zucchini, raisins, walnuts. I wanted this to be kind of like a carrot cake cookie, so that's why I added a lot of carrot, and you really can't taste it. So this recipe is awesome if you're a mom and your kids hate vegetables. This is a great way to sneak in some nutrients they won't be able to tell. So basically you're just going to kind of scoop them up onto a cookie sheet, put them in the oven that's preheated at 350, let them bake for 6 to 10 minutes. I liked mine baked on the shorter side, so for just 6 minutes. Then once they're done, get them out of the rack, get them out of the oven, cool them on a rack, and you can leave them as is, or you can top them with some coconut butter, which might be my new obsession. Or you can make a cream cheese type frosting to really make it a carrot cake type delicious snack, or rather dessert. This isn't really a good snack. It's a dessert. It is. It's an indulgence. But each cookie ends up being less than 100 calories. I tried to do out the math to see how much they were. I don't know exactly, but I do know that they are below 100 calories. So you could have 1 or 2, and that's it. They're healthy, but like all things, moderation is key. So hopefully you guys like this recipe. Again, if you want to make it and you don't have the whole wheat pastry flour, you can use regular flour. If you don't have the stevia, you can just use regular sugar, or you can use Splenda. And it's still a fairly, you still have all the vegetables in there. So this is an awesome, yummy recipe. I had a man taste it, and he said he could not taste the artificial sugar that I used. So that was always a plus. He's always a hard one to please. And hopefully you guys like this video. If you want more details of this recipe, go to sarahfit.com, or there's a link in the more info. So thanks guys, see you next time.